Yeah, a quick preview would be this. They're big, they're physical. They try and control the line of scrimmage and allow their linebackers to run, and we'll have our hands full from the start. But I think it should be a good matchup.
And then Justin, for you, what are you guys seeing on the offensive line? So far this year, you just one game under your belt, but seems like a pretty cohesive group.
Yeah, I feel like if we come together, I think we could be a pretty dominant offensive line, especially like coming into this week. We'll just have to be physical, and we should get the offense rolling. So,
Questions?
Mike, I mean, you've kind of been here through a couple of different staffs, and it looks like now everybody's on the same page and a little more back to normal, even though you're on another new offense. How's that transition been with teaching kids another offense this year?
Yeah, listen, here's the benefit to that. Coach Jack, when he got here, he kept me on, moved me to the offensive line, which I had experience with. I wanted that challenge. I accepted it. I wanted to tie up some loose ends and just give us some concrete rules to move forward. And last year's offense, listen, our scheme is zone scheme, and zone is zone. And so I had a lot of say, and I thank Nick Fulton for it. I had a lot of say in our run game last year, 3 games we played in the fall. And the transition when Coach Brown came in, again, the schematics of it was the same. Zone is zone. And so that part carried over. And again, very fortunate that Coach Brown listens to me when it comes to the run game and protections, in the sense that not much changed from the day I took over to now as far as the terminology that I use, really the terminology that has been installed. And so the carryover from there has been really good. The fact that we had guys here this summer was a big plus and has allowed us to continue our development and our ascent to where we want to be.
Well, say you've got so many linemen. I mean, one, you've got some depth now, but you've got a lot of guys who are veterans. And obviously, Justin's been here for quite a few years now, but that obviously helps with coming into this season with new quarterbacks, new running backs, and with that cohesion.
Yeah, I said it on the O-line to be the leaders out there for the offense. And we're still striving for that, don't get me wrong. But the big thing is this, with guys like Justin coming back as a super senior, that's immeasurable because he's the guy they lean toward. He was voted team captain. The numbers I got, I was very fortunate. The numbers that we got, a lot of guys said yes to coming here. A lot of guys said yes sight unseen because of the whole pandemic. And I tip my hat to those guys. I mean, we all know being here what this place has to offer, but the fact that these guys really over a Zoom meeting, recruiting session, they all said yes sight unseen, and I really appreciate these guys more than they know. But again, the depth numbers, that's a direct reflection of Coach Jackson and his philosophy is building this program, and it starts up front, both sides of the ball. And so the numbers we have, we're still young. If you really look at our roster, yeah, we got numbers, but we're still young. And so that's going to be exciting for me moving forward to next year and the years after.
See, Justin, as a super senior, I mean, not many, it's hard enough to get through 4 years, let alone 5 and 6 now, especially on the offensive line. I mean, your body just takes a beating.
yeah.
How have you been able to kind of handle that, and then also being voted a team captain and really being a leader on that offense now?
I mean, I've been able to handle it throughout all these years because I just love the game that much. Like, my body might be beat up and everything, and I do it for the person next to me. Like, my O-line is like, they're like my brothers, so it makes me want to keep playing. And being voted as a captain, that proves to me that, like, my team, they got my back. Like, I'm the guy that they will turn to. I'll get their back. Like, we're a family. So.
See, when you transferred here, I mean, you had a really young group. I mean, I was looking back, it's like I'd forgotten all those freshmen that you had, and now you've kind of got a little bit of that again. It's kind of able to teach them a little bit about college football.
Yeah, I'll help them when I see, like, what they're doing wrong, like, because I will know the proper technique, so I'm going to try to get them to be the best they can be, so take them like a little brother.
Justin sets the standard for the guys up front. And again, what we've tried to establish from the beginning was just consistency with our rules, depend what's in front of us, covered, uncovered, etc., that allow us to play fast. And a lot of these guys come from systems like that, either from high school or from the JC that they may have come from, or from their previous school that they transferred from. So to have Justin here and his experience actually getting game reps, that's you can't put a price tag on that. That's why he's the leader.
See, the way the line has played really in your one game this year, 300 yards passing, 250 yards rushing. I mean, there's a nice balance, it looks like, right now. How's the line kind of handling that? And what are some of the keys, especially against an aggressive defense like Highlands has got?
I mean, we just got to come out and be more aggressive. That's what I would say. Like, just got to come out, do what we can do, run the ball.
Have a couple speedy little running backs, you're
Yeah.
right back, right up on
Just
you.
open up holes, just give them the opportunity.
You said you guys have got to, hit your blocks because they're,
Yeah,
they want to hit those holes fast.
yeah.
So have you seen kind of the difference between really just the 3 games last year and this year, kind of how things
Yeah.
are progressing?
I for sure have seen a difference. It seemed like we're clicking better. Everyone on the O-line, they have better technique. They know the plays better. I feel like overall we're just getting better, and it's going to keep going up from here.
When you talk about having a freshman quarterback too, that's got to be kind of a notch for you guys too, being able to protect them as well as you guys did that first game too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of our goals. Every week is keep the quarterback upright and clean. And stat-wise, we did that this past. And every week's going to be a challenge. And to do that every week, that remains to be seen. But that's the challenge.
Coach, you mentioned the depth. Is there anything you saw week 1 that maybe you guys are changing going into the second game? Or?
As far as our depth,
Yeah.
listen, nothing is set in stone. And these guys know that. And that's the one thing that numbers bring to the table is that you can have that competition weekly, which we haven't always had here, at least since I've been here. And so these guys know that. I mean, we travel X amount of players X amount of O-linemen, and going into today, that number's not set yet. And so there's going to be competition today, tomorrow, into Thursday till we wrap this thing up. I look forward to it. I hope the guys understand what's at stake. And if not, guess what, man? It's going to be like this every week. And as long as I'm here, as long as Coach Jack allows me, there's going to be competition every week.
What's that like as a captain too? Traveling with only X amount of guys, different from home games. Do you have to say anything to the guys about that? Or?
I mean, I don't really have to say anything, but I feel like it just goes like there's not as many people. So if there's injuries, we just got to fill in with what we have. And just got to go out and play.
See, Coach, with the way Cars can be another running back really for you, what does that do for a running scheme?
Yeah, listen, what it does, especially with as much zone read as we have, what it does is it makes another player, and it truly makes it 11 on 11 now. The threat of his arm and legs, it's been a while since we've seen something like that. Probably Easton was the last one, obviously. But the fact that now a defense has to account for the possibility of him pulling the ball, and then there's some wrinkles off that we haven't shown yet. So I'm excited, and with Karst and the receivers we brought in and the running backs that we have and brought in, you put it all together, and what it does is a good running back or person running the ball makes an O-line look better. A solid O-line will make a good running back look better. It goes hand in hand, and I'm excited about what we're about to, hopefully this journey we're on that we're about to show people, because by no means was that, that first game kind of took away a little bit of our schematics that we were planning on based on what they gave us. But I was proud of it because we were still able to make some adjustments and get what we needed done. And Karst was a big part of that. And Gavin, our quarterback run game was a big part of that reason.
And obviously, Justin, when things break down a little bit, you kind of got to keep an eye on Karst to see what he's doing. So, I need to get out here and block for him because there he goes. You don't want to leave him out there alone. You just are you getting kind of a sense when he might need to tuck it and take off?
Yeah, I feel like I get a sense if he feels any pressure, he'll probably roll out or something like that, but I'll block for him as long as it takes for him to get rid of it. So
Where'd he go and who can I go hit?
yeah.
What practice has kind of been like? You know, it sounds like, or feels like you guys kind of waited forever to play that first game, and then you guys kind of have your bye week, like right after you finally get to play a game. What was practice kind of like these last 2 weeks, I guess?
You know, the couple things. One, we truly haven't been into a routine yet. Not this year, and really an extension of last year. We haven't gotten into a routine that, you know, this is my 26th year coaching, and every fall you can count on X, Y, Z happening. And it gets you into a routine. It gets you into a routine in the office, gets you to a routine with your players and your family, everything. That was taken away from us last year. And then we come into the summer and then into fall camp, knowing that our first game was on a Thursday and not a typical Saturday. And then you turn around with the bye week. Holy cow, man. I mean, we're still not on a routine. And so I'm looking forward to really these next 9 weeks and hopefully longer. But, you know, it was a long August in a way. There were some changes that the NCAA mandated about what we could and couldn't do. But at the same time, we wanted to be smart with the guys we had, regardless of the depth we have. And I think we accomplished that.
Coach, you mentioned wrinkles in your offense. We haven't seen yet. I'm sure there's plenty of that. And obviously, a game plan goes on what you guys are seeing. But do you think we're going to get a better taste of who the Mavericks are offensively after this week?
You know, that's the goal. That's the goal, is to, we know what we're capable of. But take that back one step. We know what we want to do and what we want to accomplish week in, week out. And so take that into every game, and really, you know, you hear coaches say this all the time, take what they give you. Well, we're really about that here. Every week, yeah, sure, there will be a wrinkle, and some weeks there won't be any wrinkle. It's just back to the basics, and here we go.
Question, Louis?
If you could team up with any professional athlete, past or present, who would it be?
I'd probably team up with Russell Wilson, to be honest. I like how he is as a quarterback.
You too,
Coach?
Oh, you know what? I'm going through a Rolodex of guys in my head. I mean, I've been very fortunate that I worked with a coach that was on a Super Bowl winning team, and the stories he tells of that team, I'd love to be a part of a Super Bowl championship team from start to finish with all the stories that that come out of it. I mean, you get stories every year, but a championship season at the highest level, that would be awesome. And back then, you know, there was more. The rosters were set for a little bit longer. There wasn't as much free agency, et cetera. So you had truly characters developed with some of the stories he said. I just think about that. You know, I'd have to go with some of those older Steelers or Raiders teams that just, you know, hey man, put the ball down, let's play, and we're gonna beat you.